is a registered nurse, midwife, public health nurse with over 9 years post-qualification work experience as a nurse, as a staff nurse and midwife, nurse educator, and emergency nurse. Okay. And she works currently at the stroke unit of the Masters University Hospital, Dublin, Ireland. She was one of the executive of the Nursing Association, NURSA, and acted in the role of public relations officer from year 2008 and 2010. Olenka is the CEO of Prim and Proper Collection, whose medical branch recently started as a health and welfare initiative aimed at promoting public health and increasing health awareness of the people, as well as giving helping hands to students in form of donating medical supplies to individuals and schools, sponsoring health tours, and giving small bursaries or scholarship to the poor and intelligent students. She's also the founder of TPN, a network of nurses in business, and the host of Nurse Coach Ola, where she provides rewarding career mentorship and consultations for young and aspiring nurses. She's also the host of Zoe Talk with Ola, a gospel ministry, happily married with children. So, Ms. Olenka, you have the floor right now. Please, 15 minutes for your presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear?
Yes, it's such a privilege to be here today. I'm so humbled and grateful for this opportunity. Thank you, Dr. John. Thank you all the speakers. Thank you to the university, the VC, all protocols duly observed. I have to stay within the time limits. As the theme of the program is that we know it's about entrepreneurship and innovation in nursing. Can I just quickly start this by saying the first time I heard about entrepreneurship in nursing was my graduating days. We had a seminar done then, and that was anchored by Dr. Adeshola Ogunfowokon. So I was the class rep, so we invited her and she spoke at length about entrepreneurship. But believe you me, even during that lecture, I didn't really understand what I was listening to or what it was all about. It was more like just to fulfill righteousness, like you all here, all the students. Oh, let's just do it. It's a seminar, it's a seminar. Not until I started it, and then I knew the importance of entrepreneurship in nursing. Far back in school then, I was already in business, but then I didn't really apply it. It wasn't really something that made sense to me. So this is something very worthwhile, and I want to appreciate all the organizers for doing this. It is very important. I'll begin with the topic, the nursepreneur as a change agent in the post-COVID-19 era. Pardon my voice, I have some cold, so this is not my natural voice. Anyway, so who is an entrepreneur? Who is a nursepreneur? A nursepreneur is somebody that you find a need for change, and then you're creating the change and then turning it into business, into profit. So like making profit out of change making in nursing. So before we can say we want to make a change, there has to be a need. There has to be a need. You must have identified a need. Now, I just want to also emphasize is that the role of nurses as change agents and the way we influence others when addressing these challenges, it's drastically different in different ways. Like we can do it in different ways. Talking about change agents, we know that nurses are change agents. We are the forces. Can I have my slide? I know or should I stream it myself? Dr. John, do you want me to share my slide myself? Okay, all right, I'll do that. Can everybody see my slide? Okay. Yes. All right. Thank you so much. So now we are talking about changing that. COVID-19 has really made a lot of changes in our world today, and it has broken down barriers. It has driven rapid innovations in our healthcare system. It has redefined a lot of practices, and amidst all of this, nurses are being recognized and called upon to find and shape and lead innovative solutions in the healthcare industry. WHO actually mentioned these and emphasized this in the year 2020. And thankfully, the year 2020 was called the year of the nurse. So we've done a lot of things. That's why we are change agents. We are a force for change. We're a force of change because we influence the largest group. We are the largest group in the health care. We have the education. We have the right exposure to meet the needs of the patient and of our community. And of course, nurses are the most trusted and ethical profession. So with all this, we have the resources, we have the enablement, we have everything we need to be the force for change. And to be a change agent and to be a nursepreneur, especially in this COVID era, we need to harness our innovative power and improve the global response to COVID-19. Nurses are doing tremendous things even in this area, and we won't stop. So how do we go about this? I just want us to look at this picture. I found this from the Consult QD Equivalent Clinic CCU website. So what happened? This is an invention that helped the nurses to manage IV lines. So this particular setting is a CCU for children, and especially for children that are critically ill with COVID-19. So
sorry, Miss Olenka.
Yeah.
Miss Olenka, please can you put your slide on slideshow?
Okay.
Can you make it be on slideshow?
All right. So
yeah, thank you.
Is this fine?
Yes.
Oh,
fantastic.
okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry about that. So what they did, as I was saying, this is an innovation by nurses that they were working in the clinic CCU. So they realized that the children which were critically ill, they wouldn't be going into their ward every time because of the COVID situation. So they found this IV line, like a connection that connects all the IV lines together, so they could just manage it from the outdoor. So this is an innovation. This is what can be done. This is what we do as nurses. We call it improvisation most of the time, but in actual fact, it is not it's not improvisation, it is innovation. So we should stop using that word like we are improvising most of the time. We are actually innovating and we are making changes. All right. So the role of nurses, before we talk about the post-COVID era, it is important that we talk about what is happening at the moment. So nurses have played a lot of roles, especially in this COVID period. We are very important when it comes to prompt reorganization of the nursing system. Where I work here, we've seen all our managers, everybody trying to put things in place, to rearrange the units, rearrange resources to make it available for the use of nurses and others. So we are very important in that. Improved communication speed is also one of the areas nurses have functioned to be a change agent. And we for instance, in my units, when I was in the ED, we had to start using what we call the Vocera. The Vocera is a communication network that you can wear. It's like a badge that you wear on, and you can speak wherever you are. So you don't need to leave the unit where you are to communicate. So we have a lot of things nurses have done in that regards in improving communication speed. Coordinating of resources and materials has been a major function of nurses as well. And of course, caring for other nurses is very important. This is what we do. We look out for others. We look out for ourselves. Some people so used to say that who cares for the caregiver? So we need to also be on the front line of caring for ourselves as change agents. So what is next? Moving on to nursepreneurship as a change agent, because if you are a nurse, either you want to be self-employed, or you are still in the hospital, or you are still working, you are a change agent. So you might now decide to say, oh, I want to monetize this, or I want to make this a business. So that is why I had to first of all talk about the other things. So what is next now in the post-COVID era? I found this SWOT analysis that can be used for nurse entrepreneurs. I hope my slide is clear enough. Sorry. So, when we're talking about SWOT analysis as nursepreneurs, we have to identify our strengths. In this COVID-19 era and post-COVID, we have to identify the nurses play a vital role in COVID-19 pandemic. So what are the roles that we play? We mentioned that. Then we also need to talk about advances in nursing technologies. Let's start looking at advances in nursing technologies. Let's start bringing in ICTs, technological advancement in our practices. A lot of things will be affected, but then we have to make the changes. That's what it's all about. And there are weaknesses that we will definitely find. Nursing shortages, which is a very weak point for us, because a lot of people, so many nurses are falling sick, so many people are resigning. So that's a major weakness. Lack of face-to-face education and training. I know students are facing this as well. Everything is going virtual. I'm a student myself, so we see things going that way. And of course, decreased direct nursing care. That has actually been a challenge for us as well. But there are opportunities which I want us to open up our mind to today. Other speakers will be talking about some basic entrepreneurship opportunities that we can go into. I'm just trying to open our mind to things. So the opportunities being the healthcare currently is the top priority for the government. So if you have any idea healthcare that is towards healthcare, you should be proud that you will have support. The fourth industrial revolution now, it's basically healthcare, and we have cooperative and creative citizens supporting nurses, supporting healthcare workers as well. There are threats. Yeah, we should not be ignorant of that. There are threats when it comes to economic crisis and dealing with uncertainties. And of course, we have some people that will be so adamant, that will be so difficult. They don't want to, those people that don't like changes. So those will be our threats. But in all of this, we have greater hand. If you look at the strength and our opportunity ratio, we have upper hand in doing this. Implication for nurses when it comes to post-COVID era has been an entrepreneurs. First of all, like I said, everything is going digital, IT, so we should prepare for the non-contact era. So when I saw this, something came to my mind. What happened to our therapeutic touch? Like, it's been a major challenge now that you can't even touch people. You can't even, even when you're wearing mask, nobody knows when you're smiling. You have to be smiling with your eyes. So we need to prepare for this non-contact area. So any entrepreneurship idea or business you want to go into, you might want to consider this could be a challenge. So if we want to deal with the non-contact, what do we do instead? How do we still promote our therapeutic relationship with patient and in this area? So you might want to look at an idea that can help to address this challenge. Nursing empowerment is also very important, which is one of the things we are doing today, trying to open up the mind of the young nurses, of everyone, about entrepreneurship. And of course, we need to expand the boundaries of the nursing profession beyond the walls of the hospital, beyond the walls of the clinic. Let's look, we have public health nurses, we have mental health nurses out there, community health nurses. So your entrepreneurship is not just limited to the hospital. So whichever setting you are, even as a school nurse, you can be an nursepreneur. And of course, global nurse cooperation is very important. We have nursing associations globally coming together, collaborating. I'm right here in Ireland. How many seas you have to cross, but this is one thing we have to do if we want to promote nurspreneurship in nursing. Now, I have this diagram talking about innovation and entrepreneurship. A lot of people miss this up. So innovation is where it's what we do every day as nurses. What we do every day as nurses. Even where you work, you are changing things, like a walk around people. But by the time you apply that singular idea to affect majority of people, then it becomes an entrepreneurship business like idea. So you can bring in one thing and then change it to influence others. Then you are converting your innovation to like entrepreneurship. So interestingly, we do all this. We are nurses, we are innovators, we are entrepreneurs. Somebody once asked me, are you sure you are a nurse? Because you are into business, and being a nurse doesn't mean you can't be an entrepreneur, because typically this is what people don't really know. People find it hard to believe that a nurse can go into business, a nurse can do this. But things are changing now, and we need to change the status quo. So to be a successful nurse innovator or entrepreneur, we need three things to happen, or four things there. Change the conversation and redefine nursing. Like, it is important now as young nurses, as aspiring nurses, that you redefine the nursing profession through innovation and entrepreneurship. It's not just the bedside thing, bedside nursing. So things are changing. We need to redefine what nursing is. I tell people that the definition of nursing that says that nursing, we are focused to care for the needy, to meet the need of the people, both well or sick. So even those that are not in the hospital, look out for a need, even though they are well, and try to meet the need. Embrace the role of an innovator. You are an innovator. Call yourself, I am a nurse. I'm not just a nurse. So I'm an innovator. We do things, we don't improvise, we innovate. So we should start embracing that role. Learn the business side of healthcare. Yes, if it will cost you to learn about marketing, to learn about programming, to learn about content writing, just learn that business side of healthcare, because that is what will make you stand out as an entrepreneur. And of course, challenge the status quo. This was what Florence Nightingale did. She challenged the status quo. She didn't just want things to go. We should go beyond that era of doing things routinely. That is what we do. That's the way it's been done. Challenge the status quo. You find something that needs change it, and that makes you an entrepreneur, and that makes you an innovator. So I know, because of time, I just have this common, the 10 most pioneering innovative COVID-19 solutions that was done by nurses recently. I found this from the Johnson & Johnson and nursing website. So one of the nurses, what she did was she helped to design a low-cost protective face shield. I know there are some nurses in Nigeria too that did this, and this is applaudable. Another nurse tried to design and arrange for a virtual rounding tool. This one helped to bring about the multidisciplinary team. They don't have to come physically when they want to go for a round, and that's a very good tool. Then there's another nurse that created a viable prototype for the patent pending Together mask. So we have the mask together, and like, it makes it more handier for patients anyway, especially those on ventilation. Another nurse made a code card. This code cards makes it very easy for like the nurses to detect what you are trying to say. So for instance, you are in a ward, you are in a room where you don't want to come out and you want to communicate with others. So the code card will just be placed on the door, on the window, and everybody can read it. So which was something very innovative and useful. So we've had nurses create a designated interdisciplinary prone team for patients that need to be turned, especially in the critical care units. I mentioned about the Vocera. Nurses also invented or designed some do-it-yourself fabric mask initiatives. So we have a lot of innovations that has gone around through nurses, especially in this COVID-19. So we shouldn't stop there. What you should know is that you can do this. This is the picture of the nurses that were involved in this. And in conclusion, nothing is constant in this world but change. And we are the change. So nurses are the change agents. We can do it either as a bedside nurse, either as a community health nurse, either as a public health nurse. You can be the change. You can be, and you can turn that change around to be an entrepreneurship business. You can make profit from being a change agent. So it is clear that there is significant opportunity to nurture creativity. We have all the resources, we have everything we need, we are skillful. All you just need to do is to transform this into change. This was what Florence Nightingale says as I round up here. So that everybody, none who were discontented with what they have, the world would never reach anything better. So if everybody was contented, let me re-say it, if everybody was okay with the status quo, the world will not be better. So we should not settle for the routine. So thank you so much as I round up here. The most important thing, like I said, I'm just opening the ground. The other speakers will be talking about some specific entrepreneurship opportunity that you can go into as young nurses. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll take answers later, questions later.